Let me ask you something, my friends. Have you ever wondered if you could live a better quality of life for half the price compared to your home country? If you had told me 10 years ago that I would be living in Malaysia, having a comfortable lifestyle, living in a fit and healthy way for about half the cost of back home in the UK, I would have never believed you. However, after nearly a decade around the region of Southeast Asia, I found that Malaysia, it just works. It's calm, it's cost effective, and the culture and people here are warm and friendly. So here's the truth about living in Malaysia from someone who is genuinely living it. Alright, so today I am filming from Central Park, Bandar, Utama. It's right next to One Utama shopping mall. It's a little green space where families come and the community connects to have walks, to take the dogs out and the families, to have some downtime amongst the green space in the city. I thought it'd be a great place here to use for today's vlog, for me to check out for the first time. And it feels like the perfect spot for us to have a little chat about what my experience has been like here so far in Malaysia. The goods, the honest, and also what balance really looks like. So I've spent 8 years in the region in Indonesia, Myanmar and Thailand, and now currently in my 9th year in Malaysia. I feel very fortunate to have called this part of the world home, and I've learned something unique from each of the places that I've lived in. Indonesia has the vibrancy and the warmth. Myanmar is certainly something that I learned about in terms of being open to new experiences and new exciting adventures. And Thailand brought that amazing energy and vibrancy, especially when talking about Bangkok, that it's certainly famous for. But what I felt was that these locations didn't offer the balance that I was looking for. So by the end of last year, I wanted to go somewhere where the cost actually gave me the quality that I was looking for in sustaining a healthy and fit lifestyle that I so crave. Somewhere where I could work, live and train without having to think about the constant change in visa rules or the hike in cost of living. Although let's be honest, everywhere over the past few years has seen a much increased cost of living, even here in Southeast Asia. But the prices and the price quality ratio is definitely something that still stands out in the region compared to the Western countries. And when I really started to think about it, that was when Malaysia, and in particular Kuala Lumpur, really started to stand out to me. And when I arrived, I certainly wasn't disappointed. It kind of felt like a perfect mix of Thailand and Singapore together. The vibrancy and the organisation for a really good, high quality cost of living. What a beautiful view of the lake. Got a nice breeze going on here as well. Alrighty, let's start with housing and ease of life. Because Kuala Lumpur really is the next level when it comes to housing. What I'm paying per month really is something amazing to behold. My monthly rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in Kuala Lumpur comes in at 2,700 ringgit per month roughly, which I believe is 460 or 470 pounds sterling per month. So as you can see, this is great value. And what will really blow you away here is first of all, the facilities, because we're all about healthy, fit lifestyles here on my channel. So I really want to showcase this first so you can see what you can get for your money here. 3 swimming pools, 2 tennis courts, 2 badminton courts, a squash court, other parts of, there's kind of like other walkways that you can walk around in the garden area if you want to get some steps in. And also from a lifestyle perspective, there are a few different kind of like services and shops that are available for the residents and outsiders to use for your convenience. It is really amazing. It almost feels like a wellness resort sometimes with the amount of facilities. Even compared to other places in Southeast Asia, the facilities at the condos here, if you're even comparing to other neighbouring countries in the region, really do stand out as being something superb. And back in the countries in the West, and perhaps if I'm talking about the UK where I'm from, for example, I don't even know if this type of living quarters, so to speak, really even exist. And £460 will maybe cover the utilities for the month, but certainly not the rent. Also, if we're talking about other things with ease of life, everything's super convenient and relatively close by. Grab delivery, Food Panda delivery, Grab drivers, Bolt drivers, the MRT, everything is super convenient here and set up for a cost-effective and relatively comfortable way of life here. It's something that really stands out to me. You know, if you want to order a late night dinner, it's not something that I would do, but if you wanted to order a late night dinner at 10 o'clock, you've got a variety of different options available to you on Grab and also Food Panda. MRT runs late into the night and is a wide network of services available. And also, to be honest with you, I usually even use the buses here in KL, and they are very modern, very clean, and very smooth to use as well, and another great cost-effective option to use. Alrighty, so next we're on to the roads and connectivity. And I must say that in Kuala Lumpur, the freeways really surprised me and impressed me. They are well built, clean, and well connected throughout the city. For example, you can get from Bukit Bintang or KLCC out to other areas of the city, such as Bangsar or TTDI, in very good time. Driving here feels calm, not chaotic, and sure, it can obviously get busy during rush hour. I mean, which city in the world doesn't get busy during rush hour? However, it's manageable. And then there is the food, and honestly, it's endless. Malay, Chinese, Indian, all a fusion mixed together with a lot of great international options also. You can have a curry for lunch for 12 ringgit. Perhaps you can have a healthy salad bowl starting from 20 ringgit. And if you fancy popping into a cafe for a flat white, maybe you're looking at around about starting from 8 ringgit in terms of pricing. Fair value and great quality. And also healthy fresh produce that is used to maximize the healthiness of your diet. And the locals here honestly make the experience here special. English is so widely spoken, it's on par with their national language of Bahasa Malay, but also because of the multicultural influence here, Chinese is also widely spoken as well. And you know, the people here, you can really relate to them because there is minimal to no language barrier. They really are kind, friendly, and also curious to get to know you. A good example is one time my wife and we were stuck in kind of like a downpour, and one of the locals there lent us their umbrella, and then after a while they actually just took off in their car without getting it back, sorry. So, you know, these little things do make a difference, and my experience here so far, I would say that I definitely feel quite welcomed into the country and the culture here. All right, so next we're moving on to the fitness side of things. You know that we're all about that here on this channel, about living the healthiest and fit lifestyle as possible as you can. So with that in mind, start with the gyms. Got a good range of gyms here. You've got lots of options in terms of global chains like Anytime Fitness, and Fitness First, but also you have the local side of the gyms as well. There are some local options that you can access, and they're all fairly affordable. I pay 199 ringgit for my membership at Anytime Fitness. You might be surprised because these prices are actually on par with the Western countries such as the UK. But you know, with that in mind, it's worth paying the price because you do get really well stacked gyms. They've got a variety of different equipment, such as a range of free weights, machines, a variety of cardio equipment to use. They also have a variety of different classes that you can access if you want to go along that route. So in terms of the fitness and health side there, you're well covered. And you know, it really does feel attainable to link health and fitness naturally into your lifestyle here. You can wake up, do a light workout at the gym, then get on with the rest of the day, maybe do some work, catch up with friends at a cafe, and then in the evening time you can go for a game of paddle. So yeah, it's just to give an example of what health and fitness can look like when you're living here in Kuala Lumpur. So, day-to-day life here feels like a breeze. Everything's set up to live a super convenient lifestyle. A grab ride across town, maybe let's look at, if we do Bukit Bintang over to Bangsar, maybe looking at between 15 to 20 ringgit for a grab ride. The public transportation systems here, the MRT, the LRT, the buses, they're super cool, clean, and on time. This is something that makes you really appreciate living here when you are connecting from place to place in your day-to-day life here. Hello. Hello. It's a good doggo. All right, wellness and healthcare. And honestly, Malaysia does this on a world-class level. You can get a full private annual health checkup with all the works. Think about blood tests, ECGs, ultrasounds, a doctor consultation, and much more for a great price. And it's at these kind of hospitals. They actually look like five-star hotels. If you think about places such as Glen Eagles and also the Prince Court Hospital as well in KL, and also Penang, both of these locations offer this type of extraordinary service, which is, in my opinion, when you're living in Southeast Asia, especially the places that come to mind are Thailand and Malaysia, this is almost like a little mini life hack. By getting these regular checkups, you are really investing into your long-term health. So in terms of prices, what we're looking at here with the packages, they will start at around about 400 ringgit, leading up to around about 1,000 ringgit. They can get more expensive than this if you want something ultra premium, but with this in mind, it is still way cheaper for these type of packages than if you were to try and do something like this in my home country of the UK. Plus, it's a super professional service, super efficient, well organized and clean, and you can literally book online and then go in the next few days to your appointment. So, you know, to kind of encapsulate some of the stuff that we have spoken about here in this segment with the costs and the way that the city works, you know, the thing that comes to mind here is that the systems and the way that things are set up here actually work with you, not against you. So it makes you feel like you're in control of, you know, your day-to-day living, because things are made convenient and accessible for you. And Kuala Lumpur, as a capital city in Asia, I haven't really seen anywhere else like this before. It feels calm and organized, but has a bit of vibrancy in there to keep life interesting, I guess. And, you know, as someone who really prioritizes living a fit and healthy lifestyle, this is something that I really cherish and value. And it helps me to optimize my physical, mental, and social well-being as someone out here living as an expat in Malaysia and in the Southeast Asia region. So picture this, it was 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday and I just finished a morning workout. Warm air, quiet streets, a few people out and about walking their dogs. You know those types of mornings where everything feels still and relaxed. It was one of those. I sat there with my coffee and you know what I thought, my friend? This is a rare feeling. No visa runs to think about, no overpriced rents to have to pay, and no overwhelming rush on anything, just a rhythm that finally makes sense. Of course there's a trade-off. My family are back in the UK, and that's something that you have to work through and manage over the years of living overseas. You miss birthdays, you miss Sunday dinners, and those little interactions. This is something that you'll always miss out on. But here's the thing, with Malaysia, it's such a well-connected and central location in the world. And with the amount of flights and the flight routes that are available to get back to especially places like the Middle East, Europe and the UK, it certainly makes it easier to manage and to be able to plan trips and manage trips back home. So you can go back, recharge and reconnect with your loved ones and your family members and close friends, and then return back to your living in Southeast Asia. And in between, you've got a lifestyle that gives you room to breathe. And the cost of living and the quality of life that you get really is the extra bonus. And the real win is the calm, the balance, and the feeling that you built something that's on your own terms.